Hey guys, good morning. I'm so happy to see all my Pilates peeps. Welcome. My name is Elizabeth. I'm your instructor, and you are in a Pilates inspired fitness class. And today is a good day. It is Foam Roll Friday. So grab that foam roller and let's get this party started. So we'll get started today by coming into a little bit of a squat. Navel is tucked to the spine, shoulders down and back. These knees are behind the toes. So we don't want the knees in front. That's not good for the knees. So we're keeping the knees behind the toes. And then guys, from here, we'll reach those elbows back behind, kick one foot back, reach those arms forward and switch and switch. By the way, if this squat thing is hurting your back, you can just stand straight. All right. And then with this simple move, it will begin to warm up your body. And I'd like to take this opportunity to request of you to keep your workout with me today pain-free. So as always, comfortably uncomfortable is all right, but pain is not. So anytime you are feeling stabbing pain, shooting pain, joint pain, structural pain, anything like that, please stop what you're doing and do something different so those painful feelings go away. It is super important to me that my students feel better after class, not worse, and I need your help with that. So please take care of your sweet body and modify at any time. All right, guys, happy Friday. Oh my gosh, we're coming up on a 3-day weekend. That's exciting. If you're watching this on YouTube, that is no longer the case. That would be for the last Friday. There's a week lag between the video and having it come out on YouTube. All right, guys. The next time you have a foot back, pause. It doesn't matter which foot. And then toss and catch and toss and catch. Right. And 2. And 1. And pause. And take that foam roller, put it down in front of you. Place both hands onto it, and then let's lift and lower that back leg. So we're still in that squat position, keeping the knee behind the toe. Woo! Coming into a little bit of a balance challenge. Wow, I'm really surprised this is so challenging since I'm holding on to something. And breathe, squeezing that back booty cheek as you lift for 4, 3, looking good, guys, 2. And the next time that leg is lifted, pause, and then keep that knee high in space, bend the knee, straighten, and bend. Oh my gosh, why is this so hard? You guys look really solid. I'm all over the place. I'm gonna blame it on my soft mat, making me less stable. For 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and come to center. Well done. All right, guys, let's come back into that squat position and we'll kick that other leg back behind. All right, and then from here, we'll lift and lower, squeezing that back booty cheek. Yeah, looking so good. And breathe. So we're warming up the body before we roll out the body. And it's always nice to feel a little bit of muscular fatigue and then massage them. It's a fun combination. Woo, and breathe. Looking good for 3, and 2. And the next time that leg is lifted, pause. Oh, I totally lost my little squat. So if you did as well, recommit to that. Okay, and then let's bend and straighten, bend and straighten, and continue. Woo. Again, you guys look so solid. I feel super wobbly today. And that's how it is sometimes. So it's good as we're going through these exercises, particularly with balance, to not take ourselves too seriously and just know that in feeling unstable, we're still improving because we're practicing. For 4, and 3, 2, and 1, and back to center. Well done. I saw that, Lynn. I think that you were doing a sympathy challenge for me. All right, let's reach one arm up and over, feeling that side body stretch, and continue. You are breathing and enjoying that stretch for 3, and 2, and one. And then let's take that foam roller over to the other side and enjoy that side body stretch. For 2 and 1, and come to center. All right, guys, then let's take the foam roller. Let's come to the front of the mat. Take the foam roller, put it on the ground between the heels. Reach those arms forward and then bend, 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 bend until you're all the way down, and then scoot yourself forward. Tuck the chin to the chest. Roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. Good. Once you're all the way down, guys, we're actually going to press ourselves back up to a seated position. And if it's available, if it's not, you're just going to keep your feet out. But if it's available, let's bend those knees. Yep. So those knees are slightly forward and sitting on the very front end of the foam roller. And again, if this is not available to you, this is quite an intense angle in the knee, that is totally okay. You can just keep those legs out long. Let's lace the fingertips behind the head, twist to one side and center, and the other side and center, and continue alternating from side to side. And just feeling that nice twist sensation in the midsection for 2 and 1, and come back to center. Let's take those hands, open them to a T, twist to one side and center, and the other side and center, and continue, again, feeling that twisty sensation in the waist for 2 and 1. All right, take those fingertips, place them down behind you onto the mat, and notice how this feels. All right, guys, let's gently roll from side to side, massaging out those glutes. If those feet are in the way, you can just gently pull them out of the way. And notice this different angle of massage on the glute area. And if it is comfortable for you to have your knees bent in this angle, notice how you're feeling a really nice stretch in that quadriceps area. And don't worry, if this position with the knees is not comfortable for you, I promise you'll get a nice quadricep stretch in later in class. All right, guys, and breathe for 3 and 2 and 1. Okay, if you want a little bit more, maybe come down to those elbows. Yep. So coming down to those elbows, and gently rock from side to side. And if this isn't working for you, again, remember, just keep those legs out in front of you, no big deal. So my goal here is to give different options for the workout, and I want you guys to choose the option that feels best for you. All right, and 3 and 2 and 1. All right, guys, maybe lower your head all the way down. Okay. And if this transition, you're like, no way, then what I want you to do is kick those legs out long. Okay, so either way, the goal here is to lie flat onto the foam roller. I want the head supported, that's super important, and open those arms to a T. And we'll just lie here for a moment and breathe. So just lying on the foam roller, you're undoing hours of that leaning forward posture. Just allow gravity to gently pull those shoulders down and around that foam roller, and breathe. Whew, this feels so amazing just lying here. You know, I often joke, and really it's not a joke, but I often say that at the beginning of class, I could put you on a foam roller and have you just lying on the foam roller with it going up and down the length of your spine. And I could leave you here for the entire session. And I'm doing my job as a Pilates instructor, because this is such an effective way to undo those hours of leaning forward. But I feel like my students would get really bored if I actually did that. So I never do that. But when I'm at home, I do that. I'll lie on my foam roller for a very long time like this. In fact, at one point, I even tried to figure out how to sleep on it. That didn't work out so great, but I tried. All right, guys. From here, breathing, navel tucked to the spine. Let's reach those arms up to the ceiling. Reach those arms back behind towards the wall behind you, down towards the ground, up towards the ceiling, and then down towards the mat by your thighs or your calves. Reach those arms up and over. So we're making big rainbow arcs here with our arms. And just notice how that feels with the shoulders moving over the foam roller. Yep. All right, guys. And then I want you to begin to tuck the base of your head. Begin to gently press the base of your skull into the foam roller. So it's like you're pulling your chin in towards the foam roller. So I'm interested more in the chin kind of lowering in space down towards the foam roller, more so than bringing the chin to the chest, although it certainly might feel like you're doing that. But really, I want you to just think about, another way to say this is pretend like you're trying to show off your double chin. The exact opposite of what we do in real life with all our social media. We always try to hide that double chin. But for now, I want you to show it. And what we're doing here, guys, is we're simulating the idea of having the posture with the ears directly over the shoulders. So frequently, our head juts out in front of us, making that poor posture even more comfortable with that weight in front of our torso, causing our torso to lean further forward. Okay, we've been doing this arm movement for a while, and begin to check in and notice if you feel a little bit more looseness in those shoulders. And if you do have your knees bent, as I do right now, check in with your quadriceps in your thighs and notice if they feel a little lengthened. In other words, notice if the sensation of those muscles stretching is a little less because those muscles have stretched out a little bit and your body has become accustomed to that. For 4 and 3, 2 and 1. All right, guys, from here, open those arms to a T again. And then let's keep those elbows low and bend those arms into a 90-degree angle goalpost position. If it's available, keep those elbows down on the mat. If that's not available, that is okay. Omit that. You can have those elbows hovering in space. Then, keeping the elbows where they are, let's bring those fingertips down to the mat. And then come back into the goalpost and then reach those fingernails down up to center and over and continue. So now we're making little rainbow arcs with our forearms and our fingertips while trying to keep those elbows still in space. If this range of motion is not available to you, that's okay. Just notice your end range of motion. And then maybe as we continue, you'll begin to notice that end range of motion increasing. Ooh, for 4 and 3, 2 and 1. All right, let's pause in that goalpost position. Then take an inhale, exhale, reach those arms up to the ceiling, and then lower those elbows and do it again and continue. All right, as you lower those elbows, guys, begin to squeeze those shoulders around the foam roller like you're trying to hug the foam roller with your shoulder blades. Woo, for 3 and 2 and 1, and then lower both elbows down to the mat. Place the fingertips behind your head. Navel is tucked to the spine. And then, guys, if you have your knees bent as I do, let's go ahead and come out of that however you wish, placing those feet flat onto the mat. And if you have your legs straight, let's go ahead and bend those knees. Fingertips laced behind the head. Take an inhale. As you exhale, come into a crunch position with your head, neck, and torso. Inhale, lower, exhale, crunch, and continue. You are breathing. You're not pressing the small of your back into the foam roller. You are in what we call a neutral spine position. So that means, depending on your anatomy, you might have a little bit of space between your waist and the foam roller. In Pilates, we frequently call that a little mouse house. Okay, and breathe. So if you are watching me, you might notice that my range of motion is tiny. You can have a greater range of motion if that feels good for you. But I am taking care of my body, listening to my own advice and modifying by having a tiny range of motion. Woo, for 3 and 2 and 1. Lower that head, neck, and torso down and gently rock all the way to the right. So come all the way to the right on that foam roller. Drop those knees to the right. Open those arms to a T and just feel that pressure on your body in a different place. So you're as far over to the right as you can be without falling off. And then just try to drape your knees to the right and relax. I know it's kind of hard, but just do your best. Use your breath to help you, to encourage your body to relax. For 4 and 3, 2. Notice how you're feeling all this space and length between your left hip bone and your left bottom rib. And 2 and 1. And then, guys, walk yourself back to center so that your foam roller is going up and down the length of your spine. And then gently rock from one side to the other side and continue. And notice how this feels. And breathe. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then, guys, let's roll all the way over to the left as far as we can without falling off. And then drop those knees to the left and try to relax into this position and just breathe. And again, notice the distance between your right hip bone and your right bottom rib. By the way, a really, really terrific trick to try to maintain better posture. Let me say that in a positive way. A really great trick to maintain better posture is to, when you're standing or sitting, or anytime really, just try to increase the space between that hip bone and your bottom rib. I remember when I was a young girl, I was talking to someone, I think it was a therapist or a school counselor or something, and I was talking about trying to do something, and they said, try to stand up. And I realized that when you try to do something, you're not necessarily successful. So I try to omit that word from my vocabulary. All right, guys, and breathe for 4 and 3, 2. Feels so good. And 1, and come back to center. All right, guys, gently rock from side to side again. So we have little rows of muscles that go up and down each side of our spine. So just enjoy massaging them. If it feels good for your anatomy, you can come into a crunch position with your head, neck, and torso, just changing the pressure sensation on your back as you're going through this range of motion. That is not necessary. It's just an option. For 3 and 2 and 1. Come back to center. If your head is lifted, put it down. And then, guys, hands wherever you want, knees bent, feet flat. Bring that left knee into tabletop. Okay, and then let's reach that right arm up to the ceiling. Good, and then let's take that left leg up to the ceiling. All right, from here, slowly, let's open the arm out to the side towards a T, opening the leg to the side as well. And then bring it back up to center and do it again and continue. So we're trying to just laterally move that arm and that leg. And if you have the range of motion and it feels good for you, you're welcome to bring them all the way down towards the mat or not. So whatever feels best for you. For 3, my range of motion is kind of tiny and I'm feeling this quite a bit. And 2, and notice where you're feeling it. So definitely the balance, but also inner thigh, outer thigh, oblique. For 2, I know, slowest countdown ever. and 1, and come back to center. Oh my gosh, gently rock from side to side. Well done, you guys. I'm seeing, well, now I'm seeing knees. Before I was seeing arms and legs. For 2, and 1, and come back to center. And then let's bring that right knee into tabletop, left arm up to the ceiling, right leg up to the ceiling. And then again, open, and close, and do it again, and continue, and breathe. So I know frequently I talk a lot about your form, and here I'm more interested in your comfortable range of motion and just playing with balance, and breathe. For 3, yep, feeling that inner thigh again, and that outer thigh, and that balance. Woo, and 2, and 1. Oh my, and come back to center. Gently rock from side to side. For 2, and 1. Okay, guys, now you are lying down. I want you to continue to lie down, but gently roll to the side of your foam roller. Remove it from underneath you, and just lie flat on your mat. And notice how your body feels after being on that foam roller. Usually after being on the foam roller, the body feels amazing. Let's begin to gently notice the pressure between our heels and the mat, and begin to just wag those toes from side to side. And then, guys, let's begin to also gently rock the hips from side to side. So see if you can make this twist happen from the waist. So that's different than wagging the ankles from side to side. That's different from wagging the heads of the femurs from side to side. Try to keep all that super solid. And from the waist, rock those hips from side to side, which is kind of hard. So try to find that mind-body connection so you're able to do that. For 3, and 2, looking good, guys, and 1, and come back to center. Let's lace the fingertips behind the head, feeling that nice stretch in the shoulder area. And just take a moment here and breathe. And notice how that feels in the shoulders. For 4, and 3, 2, and 1. All right, guys. We're going to have a little bit of fun with this foam roller. For this next sequence, your job is not to take yourself too seriously and just to have fun. So if it feels okay, you can come into a crunch position. Actually, I'm going to cue that different. So let's begin by keeping that head down, and then bring one knee into tabletop and the other knee into tabletop. Take that foam roller, drape it across your shins. All right, your arms can be wherever you want. You can lace them behind your head, or you can have them to the side or down at your hips. All right, guys. From here, let's kick those feet away from you and drag them back, and do it again. So my range of motion literally is just a couple of inches. If your range of motion is greater, that's okay. And if it feels better for you to have no range of motion, that's okay too. Also, if you wish, you can come into a crunch position and breathe. Balancing that foam roller on those shins for 2. And you guys are being really successful with this. And 1, and pause. All right, grab that foam roller. We're going to take this up a notch, and this is super hard. So again, just be like a little kid. Let's place it on the feet. All right, and balancing that foam roller on the feet. And then gently begin to move those feet however you wish, maintaining that balance, and breathe. Wow, again, you guys look really good. I'm actually doing really well with this. Frequently, I'm having a lot of problems, but not right now. It's kind of funny. Some days certain moves are hard and others not so much. All right, guys, for 3, and 2. Oh my gosh. And 1, and come to center. All right, guys. And then, let's get you a little cocky. From here, guys, let's bend those knees just a little bit and straighten and do it again and continue. So we're just inviting a range of motion in. Oh my gosh, now I cannot find it. And continue. And breathe. You guys are like being way more successful than I am. I don't know if any of you have surfed or paddleboarded, but sometimes I'll think I've got it going on, and the next thing I know, I am face planting. I kind of feel like that right now. It's like I was feeling like I really had this, and now I cannot find it. All right. You guys look amazing. For 3 and 2 and 1 and lower down. Really well done, you guys. I love the smiles. Let's take that foam roller and we're going to lift our feet and put it underneath the thigh area and then lift the hips and place the hips onto the foam roller. And then let's just open those arms to a T. Those hips are completely resting on the foam roller. So it's at about tailbone level, maybe just a little bit below. Take a big step apart with those feet. By the way, for this sequence, we're keeping the head down and then drape those knees to the left. And just enjoy, again, this twisty sensation in your midsection. And again, enjoy just that space and length between this hip bone and that bottom rib on the right side. Okay, now our bodies frequently have a hard time completely relaxing into a stretch. And I believe that's because we're vulnerable when we're in a stretch. So our muscle memory wants to, keep us protected in case someone came up and pushed on our body when we were in a stretch that could hurt us. Or probably back from the olden days when we had to have a huge burst of energy available at any time in case like a saber-toothed tiger was coming after us or something. But for now, just use that breath to really encourage your body to relax and just enjoy that and breathe. I think I'm seeing some dog tail wagging. That's so cute. I love it. For 4 and 3, 2, and come back to center. And then, guys, let's press the booty into the foam roller, keeping the head down. Place those hands around your waist, fanning those fingertips over your midsection, and gently press those fingertips into your abdomen while you're pressing the booty into the foam roller. And notice how those muscles are active. Whew. For 3 and 2 and 1, and then keep those hands where they are, but release that pressure. And notice how those muscles relaxed underneath your fingertips. That's kind of interesting, guys. All right, from here, let's take that step apart with those feet again, if they came a little closer together, and then drop those knees to the right. Again, we're keeping our head down. And again, just allow your body to settle into this stretch. So just allow for that to happen. Allow gravity to gently pull those knees down to the side. And again, notice the distance between this hip bone and this bottom rib. And breathe. Just enjoy that sensation. For 4, 3. 2. Are you able to relax more and more into this stretch? Remember, we're keeping the head down for this sequence. Feeling that nice pressure on the glute area. For 2 and 1, and then let's come back to center. Okay, guys, and then let's gently rock those knees from side to side, still keeping that head down and just noticing how that feels after holding that static stretch, and continue. And just enjoy that sensation and breathe, and continue. For 3, looking good, guys. And 2, and 1, well done. All right, guys, from here, let's come back to center and then lift those hips and remove the foam roller from under your booty area. Okay, well done, everybody. Let's bring those knees into tabletop, place those fingertips behind the head, kick one leg long, bring it back in, kick the other leg long, bring it back in, and continue. Yep, and by the way, welcome back, Bev. I'm glad you're back. Breathing for 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and lower those feet all the way down. Then let's take this foam roller and put it underneath our feet. Lie that head flat. Rest the arms in a comfortable, neutral, natural position. In other words, wherever you want them. And then let's just press those feet into the foam roller. Keep your hips down, but just notice how when you apply pressure from your feet into the foam roller, just notice how much you are turning on those muscles in your backside. In other words, you're making them active. And breathe. Okay, and then if you feel like your foam roller is stable and it's not going to shoot out away from you, keeping your head down, if you wish, lift those hips coming into a bridge. All right, and then if this feels all right for you, maybe take both arms up towards the ceiling. Reach those arms back behind, reach those arms up to the ceiling, and then reach those hands down to the mat near your hips and up and over and continue. So this is like a rainbow arc. We did this move earlier. Begin to squeeze those booty cheeks together a lot. And just take this big static hold in the backside and breathe with the feet on the foam roller. In just a moment, we're going to add on, but if you wish, you can continue with this version. All right, guys, tiny range of motion to begin with, keeping that head down. As you reach those arms overhead, maybe roll that foam roller towards the ball of your foot, towards the toes, and then reach those arms up towards the ceiling. And as you reach those arms down towards the mat by your hips, maybe roll towards your heels and do it again and continue. So maybe as you're rainbow arcing, begin to invite movement in with that foam roller. Whoa, really feeling that backside at all. If you're going to cramp up, then just come down for 3 and 2 and 1. Arms up to the ceiling and roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. Well done. All right, guys, nice job. Let's come up onto those elbows. Roll that roller towards the tush, and then let's just drape those thighs over the foam roller. Yep, so those thighs are on the foam roller and we're on our elbows. And then just shimmy those toes from side to side. So you're just feeling pressure from your hamstrings, which we just worked, by the way, on the foam roller. So this should feel pretty good. So just enjoy that sensation. And then if you wish, you can lift those hips and wag those toes or shimmy those feet from side to side. So however you wish, just moving the backs of those legs, thighs over the foam roller, and then maybe begin to roll forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards. Now, if this is hurting you, your shoulders, you can certainly do this with those hands behind you. Yeah. So if you want to come to a seated position, you're welcome to do that. Whatever feels best for you. The only thing here, guys, is I want you to avoid rolling over the backs of the knees. So there are pressure points back there, which we do not want to mess with. And that is particularly true if anybody is pregnant. So just enjoy. Woo. This feels amazing. Rolling out and massaging those really strong hamstrings that you guys have developed. Woo, for 3 and 2 and 1. Good. And pause and then lower the booty down. All right, guys, from here, let's take the foam roller. We're going to place stop, come into a crab walk position, keep the hands down on the mat behind us, and lower our booty onto the foam roller. And then begin to roll forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards. Yep, so now we're massaging out that glute area. If you find yourself getting backed into a corner, just reposition yourself. That always happens to me. Okay. All right. Rolling forwards and backwards. And forwards and backwards. For 3 and 2. All right, guys. Maybe that's all you want. If you want a little more, take that left ankle, cross it over the right knee, and then drop that left knee down to the left, massaging out that left booty cheek. Ooh, just enjoy that fabulous glute massage. Yep, and just feel free to move in a manner that feels good for you. And then, guys, let's take that left knee and we'll bring it over to the right and then roll out that right booty cheek. Ooh. And notice how with the different angles, we're able to get into that muscular area a little bit differently with the different angles. So just enjoy that. By the way, if you find a spot that's super sensitive, if you just hang out with your body weight on that spot and just gently, tiny move your body over that spot, you might begin to feel a little bit of a release. And 3, looking good, guys. For 3 and 2 and 1, and then let's uncross, come to center, and you guessed it, we'll take that right ankle and cross it over the left knee, and then we'll lean to the right. Yep, so massaging out that same booty cheek we just massaged. Whew. And noticing how it feels different with the other knee cross. So that's kind of interesting. Boy, I always give you a weather update, but I'm filming from South Orange County, and there's cloud cover today, and the sun's kind of peeking out, and it kind of has this unusual feel looking out there. All right. Okay, and then pause, and then let's take that knee and drop it over to the left. And now notice how you're targeting that left booty cheek from that different angle. Whew. And just enjoy. I'm full of oohs and ahs. Yeah, that's what the foam roller does. And breathe. For 3 and 2. Oh, I just found a little spot. And 1, and come back to center. All right, guys, from here, let's just shimmy those knees from side to side, and notice if this backside feels a little differently after that more concentrated focus on the muscles in that area. Feels pretty good. All right, for 2 and 1, and then let's gently roll to the front end of the foam roller, placing it behind us. And let's, in fact, roll it back a little bit and lean back onto the foam roller at about bra strap level and lace the fingertips behind the head. All right, guys, from here, keeping the head cradled in the hands, maybe lower your head, neck, and torso in space over the foam roller, if that feels good. If it doesn't feel good, then you can certainly omit that. For 3 and 2, and then come back to a neutral position. And then let's lift the hips and begin to roll forwards and backwards. Yep. Come all the way up to the shoulders, guys. See if you can come all the way up to the base of the neck, and then just go just a little bit below the bra strap area. So we want to avoid the waist area. That is important. All right, and the next time you're up just about directly under the shoulder area, just pause and then walk your feet over to the right opening those arms to a T, or opening those elbows wide, keeping the fingertips placed behind the head. And then just gently roll that foam roller forwards and backwards, and you are targeting those muscles from a different angle. Woo, and just enjoy. Remember earlier I talked about those rows of muscles that go up and down the length of your spine? I don't know about you guys, but I frequently feel a tightness in those muscles in my upper back. So this feels amazing to massage them on the right side from this angle for 3 and 2 and 1. And then guys, let's walk those feet back to center and then gently roll forwards and backwards just at center, and notice if one side feels a little different than the other. And then find stillness and let's walk those feet over to the left. And then again, just roll your body over the foam roller. Woo. And breathe. Again, I'm getting stuck in this corner. 4 and 3. Oh my gosh, you guys, this class is flying by. And 2 and 1, and come to center. All right, let's press ourselves up to a seated position. Oh my gosh. I'm seeing puppies. I love it. Okay, and then we're going to switch gears and come to an all fours position. That's funny. Just as I say puppies, I look down and I see white dog hair from my own dog. Her puppy glitter is traveling with me today. All right, then from here, place the foam roller directly in front of your knees, and then let's come to a plank position. You can either come onto your hands if that feels good. I said plank, but really it's not really a plank because our body's not straight, but you get the idea. All right, and then rolling forwards and backwards. So the only thing here, just as we on the back side, we want to avoid the knees. Ooh. If this position, this angle for your back isn't great, no big deal, guys. Just come down to those elbows. Ooh. Did I mention? Ooh. And breathe, massaging out those quadriceps. If you wish, you can bring those heels together, kind of like you're in a Pilates V, and you will feel more of an inner thigh massage. And breathe. Lisa, when you were talking about getting the grandpuppy, I didn't realize you already had him. He's really curious. I love it. And breathe for 4 and 3. I was just looking for Bev and Catherine. I know they have dogs with them too. And 1, and let's pivot those feet to parallel. In fact, maybe position yourself so you can bring the toes together and the heels apart. And then notice how you can massage a slightly different angle of those calves. I mean, those quadriceps. And then, guys, let's find stillness and then bend and straighten. And bend and straighten and continue for 4 and 3, 2, and sorry, 1, and come to center. She's getting mauled by a dog in a good way. All right, guys, and then slightly roll forwards and backwards, and then let's bend and straighten and do it again. Some of you guys know that I've been doing a little bit of modeling on the side, and I applied to a gig last night where it was for a dog rescue. So they were looking for dog lovers. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm your girl. So hopefully I hear back from them. All right, guys, for 3 and 2 and 1, and pause. All right, guys, then let's tuck those toes underneath us. Navel tuck to the spine. If you're on your elbows, you can stay on your elbows. If you're on your hands, you can stay on your hands. Take an inhale as you exhale. Let's come into a plank. And breathe. Navel tuck to the spine. Hollowing out that belly. Make sure there's no wrinkles in your neck so your head is in a neutral position in line with your spine. Whew. And breathe and hold. You can come down at any time, or you can hold with me for longer. Make sure the area, that waist area is not sagging low, nor is the area between your shoulders. If you're on your hands, press through the thumb and forefinger. It will help to save the wrists. And breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then lower those knees down. All right, guys, from here, let's take this foam roller. We're going to place it in front of us and come to a standing position. All right, guys, coming to a standing position. Remember, I promised how we'd stretch out those quadriceps, even if you were not able to, or it wasn't in your range of motion today, to have those feet around the foam roller. Anyways, coming into a quadricep stretch. Place it under your right hand, and then let's bend the knee and find that left ankle. All right, from here, guys, let's lift that foot back in space. Yep, and breathe. Okay, if you are in this position and this is all fine and dandy and you want a little more of a challenge, maybe hover those fingertips. And if you're in this position and you want a little more of a challenge, maybe reach those fingertips forward like you want to shake your friendly Pilates instructor's hand. Looking good, loving the balance, loving how you guys are challenging yourselves in a safe manner. Remember, as we're doing this, certainly take safety seriously, but don't take your success or what might be considered a lack of success too seriously, because I just want to assure you that in challenging yourself, regardless of what happens when you challenge yourself, you are being successful because you're improving. For 3, and 2, and 1, and gracefully, that's the hard part, come back to center. Okay, then let's take that foam roller over to the left. And you guessed it, let's kick that right leg back. Go ahead and grab onto it. And then let's lean forward. And then maybe over those fingers. And if that's fine, maybe reach that arm forward. And breathe. Yeah, you guys look amazing. I love it. And breathe, hollowing out that belly. For 4, and 3, 2, and 1, and gracefully come to center. Nice job. Next, let's take that foam roller. We'll keep it over to the left. And then let's take that right foot. Actually, we'll start there. Take that right foot and place it down on your right lower leg. And then if it's safe, reach those arms to a T. If you want a little bit more, guys, let's take that foot and put it into that thigh area. So again, we want to avoid the knee area, so we don't want to apply pressure on the knee. And then reach those arms out to the sides and reach those arms up overhead if that feels good for you. And then maybe imagine that your arms are branches and they are swaying in the breeze. For 3, you guys look so graceful. And 2, and 1, come back to center, and then slowly lower that foot down. All right, let's do that on the other side. So taking that foam roller over to the right, and we'll start with that foot on the lower leg area. Maybe this is all you want. If you want more, maybe take that leg and place it in that inner thigh area. Yep. And then if it's safe, maybe hover those fingertips, and then maybe open those arms to a T, reach those arms overhead, and then finally maybe sway those branches. Again, you guys look so graceful. I love it. For 3, and 2. Hi, guys. Those are my students for my next class. And 1, and to go, come to center. And then gracefully lower down. All right, well done, you guys. I hope you feel massaged strong, stretch, centered, and balanced. Without flopping that foam roll over, let's come into Lady in a Park. Oh, it's really nice to see you guys. I hope everybody has a fabulous weekend, 3-day weekend for my live students, not for my Zoom or my YouTube students, for 2. And 1, and come to center. All right, guys, let's raise those arms overhead, drop those shoulders, curl those fingertips over, tuck the chin to the chest, roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Notice how your body feels. Hopefully it feels amazing. Let's circle those arms. However you interpret that cue is fine. And then pause, reverse the direction of those circles for 2 and 1. Softness in the knees, head is heavy. Roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Coming all the way up. When you get to the top, bring those shoulders up, back and down, up, back and down. 1 more time, up, back, and down. I want to thank you guys for joining me. It's so nice to have such a huge class today. I love it. If you're watching me on YouTube, thank you so much for joining me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I post 3 videos a week. Mwah!